What's up, Cyberhawks? So in today's video, we're going to be going over the FBI and cybersecurity, and I guess kind of see how the FBI uses cybersecurity and hearing from people who are hopefully within the actual FBI or were in the FBI at some point before maybe they transitioned, or maybe they were in the FBI while they're also doing cybersecurity, and kind of just giving you guys like a quick background on why I felt this would be a good video. For myself, when I was applying to tons of jobs, the FBI was one of the ones that I actually was interested in getting into, at least partially, so that I could actually get into cybersecurity. I felt like what they were looking for, I would fit all of those guidelines. I was already studying a lot. I was already done with my Microsoft internship too at that point. And with them, you would be able to get, like those clearances, so security clearances that I would be interested in. And I've been hearing that there's a lot of different jobs in the cyberspace that you need a clearance, a security clearance to actually get into. So I'm like, hey, if I can get into FBI, maybe work there for a year or two, I get this clearance, then I can venture off and kind of just do whatever and just have like a plethora of different jobs that I can get into. So I thought about it, and I applied. It hit me up pretty quick. And then I didn't take the test. Like, I think I applied around like Christmas time, or like right after like Thanksgiving. It was like around the holiday time. And I had meant to take the test, and I kind of just, I kind of just playing around with it. And then like, I want to say like the day or two before, I tried to schedule it and I wasn't able to schedule it. Apparently you had to go there in person. I wasn't able to do it online. And then, I had to wait. I think it was like 90 days, like around 60 or 90 days or something along those lines. So during that process of waiting, I was again applying to a whole lot of different jobs. And I ended up getting my current job, or I was applying and getting like good interviews and whatnot. So basically, I just didn't have the time to apply the second time, but I was close. I was looking at it. I was like, okay, it's been 30 days. It's been X amount of days. So I was trying to still kind of get into it, but I lucked out and, got my current job. I'm not gonna say necessarily lucked out. I was grinding. I was super, super grinding. I got another opportunity. They got other opportunities. But if I didn't get those opportunities, I would have for sure applied again. And probably be in the FBI by now for sure. But anyways, let's go ahead and start the first video out right here. And you know what? I could still actually join in. Let me just make that sure. I could technically speak and still get in. I think that I was like 35, 36 or something like along those lines. However, the bad thing is that once you join in, you have to move. Like first you got the training for like 3 months, I think 3 or 4 months. And then they kind of pick your state that you got to live in. So I would have to move from Texas probably for a while. So, I mean, it is what it is, but I guess I could see myself doing that, but I probably would be going for maybe about 2, 3 years, 4 years until I get more seniority. And then I can probably pick my place. So I'll be, mid 30s by then, maybe 40. But anyway, we'll see.
I was a special agent in the Federal Bureau of Investigation for 22 years. It was during that time in the FBI where I was assigned an investigation that included a cybersecurity element to it. And that's what I would call my pivot moment. That really was the deciding factor for me. I need to invest time, cycles, develop my intelligence on this, take courses, do whatever I need to do in order to get smart on it. My name is MK Palmore. I'm a director in the office of the CISO for Google Cloud. My team is responsible for helping customers onboard safely and securely into the cloud. I'm a child of the 80s. And for those of us in Gen X that come from that generation, everything in the 80s was really about the opening of the door to all things computers. Even families that, like mine, that were socially and economically disadvantaged, we even had opportunities to avail ourselves of computers and computing technology. And so this interest in computing and what it might evolve into, I think the seeds were planted. Cybersecurity is important in a cloud-first world because cybersecurity is the number one topic for business enterprise risk. I made a pointed decision on my own to change my career path and begin investing in the opportunity to learn and become educated in cybersecurity. The skill that I think is most important for cybersecurity practitioners is a willingness to understand that you don't know everything. I'm a huge supporter of certificate programs, certifications in the industry, because that is the pathway that I took in order to get educated. I feel that the more training that we can make available to a wider audience to give folks that opportunity to get educated in this field, I just think the better off we're all going to be. Cloud is probably the most exciting industry to be in right now because the possibilities, I think, are endless. The benefits of cloud to business, to individuals, to society overall, I think that trajectory is still on an upward arc. So when you combine cloud with cybersecurity and you think about it in terms of the availability of jobs in the job market, this is a market that will continue to expand for years to come.
Cool. And yeah, I definitely agree with that. I definitely believe cyber in general is going to definitely, increase throughout the years.
This interest,
Just for the fact that everything is becoming more digital. So with everything becoming more digital, you're going to definitely need more digital security. So, you have your physical security, which is always going to be important. And now like everything getting built, in the cloud, for example, you got even more places. You got on-prem, security or whatnot, maybe for your company. And now with everything again kind of going more in the cloud, you need, learning the cloud security aspect of things. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's cool to see that he's a CISO, which is what the Chief Information Security Officer, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, kind of just hearing him talk, like it seemed like it kind of brightened my mood watching, of like tonight right now. It just I feel optimistic. Like I wanna talk to him in person and kind of just learn more about him. You know what? I'm saying this right now. Hopefully I remember, but it would be cool if I could start doing interviews with like people like this, kind of just getting more insights on how they joined, what their current goals are, and how they see themselves in the future within cyber. That may be something I may have to look into. So I'm kind of just saying this right now in this video. We'll see that happens. But yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far on that. He's working with the Google Cloud as well, which is cool. A lot of the other videos I kind of been watching like on my own time have been people who are more like into Azure or AWS. So it's cool kind of seeing some of the people on the Google side of things on the cybersecurity side of things. And yeah, he's a CISO. And yeah, that's something I also thought about, eventually getting into as well, working my way up. I do got to get my CISSP. Maybe once I get that, maybe some other certifications. Prior to that, still I'll be applying, but I think that would help me out even more, with that journey. Let's go ahead and play the next one here, and this one is inside the FBI Cyber Division headquarters. So let's see what this is going to be about.
Technology of the 21st century, and no one knows it better than cyber criminals. Hackers steal billions of dollars and millions of personal data files each year.
The FBI is charged with fighting back, but it's understaffed. A Justice Department watchdog says the Bureau's having trouble finding and hiring enough qualified personnel. Jeff Pegues visited the FBI Cyber Division headquarters and met some of its newest agents.
FBI, search warrant. Among the biggest threats the FBI's new agents will face,
hold left, turn right,
are not the ones they will confront on the streets.
keep turning all the way.
But the ones online.
Pretty heavy door.
Yes. In Quantico, Virginia, an old nuclear bunker leads to the Bureau's future.
In the old days, you used to follow people and you used to follow money.
Tracing hacks and chasing cyber criminals. In this class, new agents who we agreed not to identify are learning to use digital clues to solve crimes. Some of these recruits will go on to classified classes using sophisticated methods to track down hackers.
It's one of our bigger investigative tools.
And hacking is pervasive. Just this summer, the U.S. government revealed that cyber thieves stole the files of as many as 25 million people from the Office of Personnel Management. Earlier this year, it was announced that the healthcare information of up to 11 million people was stolen from Premera Blue Cross. And last year, Sony Pictures was hacked and lost sensitive financial documents, film projects, emails, and had servers destroyed. To battle the onslaught, the FBI is looking for recruits who understand how hackers work. Assistant FBI Director James Turgle says his biggest challenge is money.
When you're out in the private sector and you're making really good money out there, it's hard to leave that, to give all that up, to take a pay cut to come to the FBI.
This is a second career for you?
It is, sir.
This 30-year-old left a job in computer security. He's taking a 50% pay cut. What appeals to you about being a cyber agent?
Being able to take down criminals and go after nation-state actors. People who attack the homeland.
The recruiting push began late last year. By the end of this year, the FBI hopes to graduate hundreds of new cyber agents. For CBS This Morning Saturday, Jeff Pegues, Quantico, Virginia. As new agent.
Oh, cool. So yeah, seeing the inside of that was cool because that would have been where I would have been probably working at. He said it was in Quantico. Yeah, that's what I was seeing on like the acknowledgments and whatnot on the, I guess, applications, or like the info they were giving me after I applied, and they accepted my application, my resume and whatnot. So yeah, that was cool kind of seeing some of that in Quantico. But yeah, for me, I guess kind of going in, like, it wouldn't have been a pay cut for me to go this route with the FBI into cyber, just for the fact that I wasn't already in cyber. But yeah, other guy, he was already in cyber already. I don't know for how many years, but yeah, he's taking a pay cut. So yeah, that's something to also think about too. Because yeah, if you are getting paid, $200,000, and they're only paying 120, that is a big difference. And depending on your current like cost of your living, where you're at, dropping that, to join the FBI, I can definitely see why that is hard. And I can definitely see why they're looking for a lot of new people who aren't necessarily already in cyber, but maybe grinding and trying to get into cyber. So I can definitely see why they hit me up so quick when I applied. That seeing this, kind of just cements that, like, oh yeah, they were for sure looking for some fresh talent and somebody who can actually stay. Because yeah, if I would have went and stayed 2 or 3 years versus somebody else again who making $200,000-$300,000 going down, they may just be joining just to get the clearance for a year, and then they can dip out, and then now they have the FBI and they have all their years of experience, so they're really in a good path for themselves. But yeah, I definitely like that a lot. Again, I'm not necessarily opposed to still joining, but we'll definitely see if I feel like moving, for a few years, to a decade or so. Let's go ahead and play this one next. This was the FBI agent on cybersecurity. I was a victim. All right, let's go ahead and see what this is about.
A Facebook user data scandal and other breaches. The FBI is trying to spread the word about cyber fraud.
Trevor Alt sat down with them today to find out how you can be targeted and how to keep your information safe.
One criminal with a gun can rob one bank at a time. One criminal with a computer can rob millions.
That's Oregon FBI Special Agent in charge, Ren Cannon, who knows personally that cyber fraud is a very real threat.
I'll answer that question this way. I have been a victim of identity theft.
This morning, the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office held a roundtable with us to talk about their fight for cybersecurity.
These are fabulous technologies that empower businesses, empower individuals, empower safety and security, and it can also be used to empower fraud.
A lot of the discussion was centered around cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, which has seen a rush of new investors as its value ballooned.
Maybe people aren't doing as much background investigation, aren't protecting themselves, aren't familiar with the technology because of that rush to get in on it. And that opens up vulnerabilities.
That's led to a flood of cyber crime, and the Oregon Cyber Task Force has its hands full trying to keep things in check. Created in 2015, the FBI is working with local police departments, state police, the Oregon Department of Justice, even the U.S. Secret Service to put together a comprehensive investigative team. But the message seemed to be the best offense against criminals is a good defense. Everyday people need to be careful with their information and thorough in their research before sharing their information online. Reporting in Northeast Portland, Trevor Alt, Coin 6 News.
Cool.
Ren Cannon.
I'm glad that he's kind of just showing, how deadly, again, cyber can be. Yeah, when somebody with a gun or multiple people with a gun, you can hold one bank. But yeah, if you're in cyber hacking people, I mean, you can literally rob millions of people at the same time. And that is so true. And again, this world is becoming more and more digital. Everything is getting more digital. So like, there's even more ways for you to get attacked. They can attack your credit card. They can attack your IoTs, your Internet of Things. Like they can attack your Ring camera or your Nest camera. They can, if you have, let's say maybe a camera. Okay, let's say you have like a smart refrigerator, for example. They can hack that. Let's say if a smart thermometer, I guess, or thermostat, they can hack that. It's like everything is becoming more and more accessible to being hacked. Even cars, for example, like cars are becoming more and more like big computers. You have a lot more chips and a lot of different, computer things that can also be hacked. So it's like, if you are in, the cyber or whatnot, you can really pay attention to a lot of these different things and try to find ways that you can hopefully defend against this. And if you're not necessarily in cyber, but you're thinking about getting into it, this could be like some fun projects for you. Maybe you could find a way to thwart an attacker who's hacking your Ring camera, for example, something like that, and make a video on it, showing your process, or write down the process and document it like that, and then put this on GitHub, for example, and show, a potential employee, a potential employer. So yeah, I like the FBI agent talking about, the cybersecurity craziness that's kind of going on with, hackers and whatnot, and why it's important to have good defense. And we got two more videos. This one is RSA 2020 FBI cyber tips. Let's see if their tips are what I think, I guess, will be good. I'm pretty sure they probably will be, but let's see.
The FBI can respond to your cyber critical incident quickly and effectively. We have unique capabilities to respond to cyber incidents across the country as both a domestic law enforcement agency and a member of the U.S. intelligence community. And thanks to our global reach, the FBI has both cyber task forces and cyber action teams to help us respond quickly to cyber breaches. We have cyber task forces in all 56 FBI field offices that respond to breaches, conduct victim-based investigation, and collect malware signatures and other computer scientists and digital forensic technicians from various federal, state, and local agencies. We also have cyber action teams and elite rapid response teams. Learn more about FBI.
Okay, yeah, so this one looks like it kind of, I thought they were going to be giving us tips, but it looks like they're kind of just going over the different teams that they have within the FBI cyber side of things. So it's good that there are like a lot of different, I guess, realms within cyber that you can get into. If you were interested in joining the FBI, maybe you have a strong suit and maybe one path, whereas, you may have thought that that path wouldn't be something that the FBI is interested in. But hey, it looks like they got so many different paths that, heck, maybe your specific niche that you would like to join into, you actually may be able to join that team within the FBI. So that's pretty cool there. And this is the last one, the FBI in need of cyber-minded people. And this was 6 years ago. And yeah, I can attest, again, when I applied, they hit me up very quickly. So I'm pretty sure I would have for sure gotten in, like the tests, going over the test documentation they kind of gave us. Yeah, I was going to ace that. And I'm pretty sure I would have aced the running, any other physical stuff like doing the push-ups, ab work and all that. And yeah, I would have beasted all through that. So again, hey, we may see if we may see like this channel may be called the FBI Hawks versus Cyber Hawks, but let's continue.
Potentially what they're purchasing.
When someone says FBI, people typically visualize agents doing this.
FBI, search warrant, open the door!
Not this.
So let's say be interested in drugs, there are 50.
But now, more than ever, the Bureau needs more agents working from behind closed doors.
Most any background in called the cyber field is a need for the FBI.
Supervisory Special Agent Martin Helmer says the FBI is actively seeking out cyber-minded people. These are people with backgrounds in disciplines such as system administration, engineering, information technology, computer science. In order to successfully carry out many of their investigations, the FBI needs tech-savvy agents who work from behind the keyboard.
Most of what we do, whether you're investigating a bank robbery, a fugitive case, or a computer intrusion, sophisticated computer intrusion, involves some sort of technical component, and it therefore requires some technical know-how.
There is a difference between cyber crime and cyber warfare. Criminals commit cyber crimes to victimize someone, to steal, to harass them, to intimidate them.
And we usually think of that as a financial victimization or harassment or that sort of thing. Whereas cyber warfare would entail a national security component.
Helmer says they also need these bright cyber minds because the criminals they deal with are getting smarter and they're getting better at what they do.
We, the FBI, try to remain one step ahead of them by hiring technically minded people, smart people who know cyber.
So you have that cyber mind. Do you think you have what it takes to work for the FBI?
Okay, that was cool. And that was, again, 6 years ago. And I'm just now really hearing about all this within like the last year or so with the FBI. But yeah, I'm glad that they're trying to stay ahead of things. Like nothing wrong with that at all. I like that also too, that they're looking for a plethora of different fields. Kind of cemented what I was talking about on the previous video with the RSA, like system admins, engineers, etc., etc. So again, you may not even have thought about getting into the cyber side of things. Maybe you're just in IT in general. And now you have a way to not only get into cyber, but also get into the FBI behind the scenes. Now, When I saw this part right here, let me go to it. This part when they're busting into the house. Yeah, even though they stated in the video that I guess you wouldn't necessarily be doing that. You'll be more behind the scenes. They still train you on this, if I'm not mistaken. Again, when I was going to do my paperwork, and also too, actually, I think I seen videos of this like on their actual YouTube channel. Like you do, I believe, do have to go through this type of training, regardless. Now you may not be doing it, but like they will train you, and I believe they also train you on guns. I was seeing like on YouTube too how to shoot and all the other stuff. So I think that's kind of fun too. So not only will you be able to, learning like the shooting aspects of things and, driving cars and how to like do pit maneuvers and other things like that with the FBI. But then after you get like the physical stuff, and then you can focus in on the technical mind things as well. So I think that kind of gives you like a good repertoire or, of skills that you can, dominate, getting your next job, having the FBI, on your resume. Or again, you don't necessarily have to have the FBI. You can have another, high tech companies on your resume too, or just having experience in general. Like that's one of the biggest things right now is getting experience in general and showing what you have done to help out the company, not necessarily just your regular day-to-day task. But anyway, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Have you guys thought about joining the FBI for the cybersecurity side of things? Or maybe you just wanted to bust criminals? I definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts on this, and I'll see you in the next one.